Earth was no longer free. 200 years ago, the sky had filled with alien ships. At first, they came in peace. The Galactic Alliance told Earth they wanted trade, knowledge, and unity. Humans welcomed them with open arms. But peace was a lie. The aliens saw Earth's resources. They saw strong humans. They saw a planet that could be used. And so they took it. Not with fire, not with bombs, but with promises, papers, and false treaties. Earth signed everything the aliens gave them. And then, the chains closed around the planet. The Galactic Alliance called it integration. But to humans, it was slavery. Factories of pain on. Every continent, alien companies took control. Human. Leaders were replaced by observers from other species. These aliens gave orders, and Earth obeyed. Billions of humans were forced to work in alien factories. Day and night, they made weapons, machines, and food. None of it for Earth. Everything was shipped off-world. Children worked beside adults. Old people died in heat and smoke. If someone refused, they disappeared. Aliens didn't call them slaves. They used soft words like workers and volunteers. But everyone on Earth knew the truth. They were no longer citizens. They were property. No one came to help. Earth cried out for help. Signals were sent into space begging for mercy. But no one listened. Other alien species knew what was happening. They had seen it before. They had helped do it. Earth had become a shared colony, a planet broken and sold, piece by piece. Even worse, some humans helped the aliens. These traders were given better food, better homes, and power. In return, they kept their own people under control. They became the face of the system, cold, smiling, cruel. But not all were broken. Deep underground, in the ruined tunnels of old cities, something waited. In the mountains of Asia, the deserts of Africa, and the frozen ice of Antarctica, hidden bunkers remained. These were the last places the aliens had not found. Inside them, a few humans worked in secret. They called themselves the Forgotten Flame. They remembered Earth before the chains. They had saved data, weapons, and blueprints. They passed down stories from generation to generation, stories of freedom, stories of Earth's old power. They taught children to think, to question, and to plan. They were quiet, careful, patient, and they were angry. The signal one day, on the 200th anniversary of Earth's fall, something happened. A strange message appeared. On every screen in every factory and every city. The message was just one word: awaken. The aliens panicked. They tried to shut it down. But the word kept coming back, on screens, on machines, even in alien ships. One galactic officer whispered in fear, "It's a human code," from before the fall. In a bunker below old Detroit, a woman named Commander Rael Voss smiled. Ani had sent the message. She had waited her whole life for this day. She turned to her team. "It's time," she said. "The plan begins." Rael Voss was the daughter of rebels. Her mother had died in a secret raid. Her father had trained her to fight, to hide, to build. Now, at age 40, she was the leader of the hidden resistance. Her team activated old satellites the aliens thought were dead. They uploaded new codes into Earth's factories. Some machines began to slow down. Others started producing weapons instead of tools. On Mars, a hidden human base powered up after 150 years. On Titan, drones awoke in silence and began building, all. Across the solar system, humans began to move in secret. They called it Project Judgment, the lie of peace. In the Galactic Council, the leaders laughed when they heard Earth's little signal. "A glitch," one said. "Just rebel nonsense," said another. They did not see the change coming. They still believed Earth was beaten, broken, quiet. They didn't know Earth had learned from its chains. They didn't know Earth had copied alien technology for 200 years, improving it, hiding it, upgrading it, and they didn't know that soon Earth would strike back. First blood. 2 weeks after the signal, a small alien cargo ship disappeared near Pluto. No one cared. Then another ship vanished, this time a military scout. Then a station near Saturn went dark. The Galactic Alliance began to notice. They sent more patrols. Those patrols never came back. They found only one thing, burned metal floating in space, and a human symbol carved into the hull. A broken chain. What was coming? Back on Earth. More people were waking up. In the shadows of ruined cities, the Resistance handed out old weapons. Some were alien, some were human-made, but all were deadly. Old. Schools became training grounds. Old mines became launch bays. The humans had waited long enough. Rael stood before her soldiers, her voice calm but full of fire. "They enslaved us together," she said. "Now, we go for all of them. Not just one species, not just one empire, all of them." And her soldiers, from old farmers to former slaves, lifted their fists. For Earth. The galaxy didn't know it yet, but judgment had begun. The galaxy still believed Earth was quiet, but in the dark corners of space the truth was spreading. The rebellion was real, and it was growing. The secret network far from Earth, on the icy moon of Europa, a hidden base came to life. It had been buried for centuries, built by human engineers before the aliens took full control. The aliens thought it was just an old research station, but underground the Resistance had turned it into a fortress. They called it Echo Point. It was silent, cold, and deadly. Commander Rael Voss stood before a group of new soldiers inside Echo Point. "You were born in chains," she said, "but you were not born to serve." Her voice echoed off the metal walls. She pointed to a hologram behind her. Alien supply routes, patrol paths, weak points. "This is our map to war. New recruits, old pain." The rebellion wasn't made of soldiers. It was made of survivors. Some were ex-slaves who had lost their families. Some were technicians who had secretly copied alien codes. Some were children who had never seen the real sky, but they all had one thing in common. They wanted freedom. A young man named Kalen, barely 17, trained with a stolen alien rifle. His parents had died in a factory collapse. The aliens never investigated. Now, Kalen was learning how to fight. He had only one goal: make them pay. Technology. From the shadows, the aliens had used human scientists for years, but never trusted them with full control. That was a mistake. Many scientists had secretly recorded alien designs. They had studied engines, shields, and weapons. Now those same minds worked deep in rebel bunkers. Dr. Lyra Chen, once a lead engineer for an alien mining company, now built war machines for Earth. She had created something new, a stealth ship, human-built, alien-inspired, completely undetectable. The first one was called Phantom 1. It would soon be ready to fly. First missions. The Resistance tested the new ships in silence. Phantom. One flew past alien sensors near Mars. It hacked into a galactic relay and left behind a message. "We see you." No one noticed it leave. Another team stole a crate of plasma rifles from a supply depot on Ganymede. The guards were found frozen, locked inside their own security station. The aliens started whispering. They called it the Shadow War. But still, the Council refused to believe it was humans. "They're not smart enough," one alien admiral said. "They're too primitive." He would soon regret those words. Earth's underground moves back on Earth. The Resistance began taking small towns. The traitor humans who worked with the aliens vanished in the night. Supply lines were cut. Communications jammed, and in the skies old satellites blinked on, silent eyes now watching the world. The aliens noticed the changes. Factories weren't meeting quotas. Guards were disappearing. The Earth problem had become a security risk, the Council's mistake on the planet Veltrix. The Galactic Council met to discuss Earth. They still called it a local matter. They voted to send more ships. They still believed humans were disorganized. "They're just animals with machines," said one counselor. But one voice stood out. Admiral Vakar of the Zenth Republic stood and warned them. "I fought humans once," he said. "They learn fast, and they never forget." The room laughed at him. That would be their final mistake. New orders from Earth. At Echo Point, Commander Rail sent her final orders. "All cells, prepare for full activation. Target supply chains, disrupt power grids, silence traitors." Human ships began moving in stealth. Drones swarmed asteroid belts, building new bases in secret. Rail stood before the map of the solar system, blinking with red and green signals. "Phase 1 is complete," she said. "We are no longer hiding." She turned to her officers. "Now we fight." The time for hiding was over. Earth had waited. Earth had prepared. Now, Earth would strike. Target Outpost. 17 Outpost 17 was a small alien station near Neptune. It looked unimportant, just a fuel stop and comms relay. But it was much more. The Galactic Council used it to monitor all human movement in the solar system. Every signal, every shipment, every word passed through that outpost. Destroying it wouldn't just be an attack, it would be a message. Mission Phantom, inside Phantom 1. Kalen sat in silence. His hands were tight on the controls. Across from him sat two others, Raya, a skilled hacker, and Torin, a silent fighter with cybernetic arms. Both had lost family to the slave raids. Their orders were simple: infiltrate, destroy, escape. As they approached the station, the ship's cloaking field hummed softly. Alien scanners detected nothing, just cold space. But inside the ship, Earth's fury waited. The infiltration begins. The Phantom docked in a maintenance tunnel beneath Outpost 17. No alarm sounded. No one saw them enter. Raya cracked the station's internal systems. Lights flickered. Doors opened with quiet hisses. Within minutes, the humans had control of the lower levels. Toran placed explosives on power cores. Kalen planted virus chips in communication consoles. Raya uploaded a message into the central system. "You watched Earth burn. Now we watch you." Then they ran. Fire in the dark at exactly 02 hours. Outpost 17 exploded. Not a single escape pod launched. The blast lit up the black sky near Neptune. Across the solar system, alien screens went dark. Communication lines fell silent. And then, across all frequencies, a human voice spoke. "This is the beginning. We remember your chains. Now feel ours." The galaxy reacts, panic spread through the Galactic Council. "How did they do this?" asked one admiral. "Earth has no military," said another. But facts were facts. Outpost 17 was gone, all hands lost, no survivors. The footage leaked across alien networks, ships exploding. The human message repeating. For the first time in 200 years, the aliens felt something strange. Fear. Denial. Turns to fear. Some council members still refused to believe it was Earth. Maybe it was a rogue faction, they said. Maybe pirates or rebels, but others knew better. One silent video played over and over in alien war rooms. A human boy, no older than 20, walking through the burning ruins of Outpost 17. He looked into the camera and smiled. Earth celebrates in silence. In the tunnels. Under old New York, humans watched the explosion in silence. No cheers, no noise, just a quiet nod from Commander Rail. "This is only the first," she said. Kalen, back from the mission, stood among the others. He had never killed before. Now he had helped start a war, but he felt no guilt, only purpose, the Council's mistake. Grows, the Council ordered fleets to move toward Neo Earth. They thought they still had the upper hand, but they didn't know that Earth had rebuilt old warships in the asteroid belt. They didn't know humans had hacked their ship trackers. They didn't know the Ghost Fleet had already left its hidden ports. The Ghost Fleet awakens. In the shadows of Saturn's rings, massive ships moved, black, silent, cloaked. They didn't have names like alien vessels. They had code names: Wraith, Revenant, Vengeance. No crew cheered. No lights flashed. These ships were made for one thing: to destroy. The Galactic Council had ruled for over 5,000 years. They had crushed rebellions, they had silenced uprisings, and they had broken entire planets into dust. But they had never faced Earth's judgment until now. The emergency meeting. The council chamber on Zethar Prime was shaped like a circle, each species seated in their golden chairs. Around them floated security drones and translators. No noise ever lasted more than a few seconds. But today, the room was chaos. Outpost 17 has been destroyed, shouted the Thrax ambassador. Our fleets are vanishing, cried the leader of the Veltrix Empire. Who gave the humans this power? A loud voice rose above them all. It was High Chancellor Kovus, a tall, lizard-like elder from the ruling Zenth species. He slammed his staff on the floor. Enough! He roared. Earth is still under our control. This is an illusion, a trick. But, deep down, even Kovus felt fear. The reports keep coming one by one. Security officers brought new data. 3 more cargo ships had disappeared near Jupiter. An entire fuel depot on Io was now a crater. And worst of all, a human warship had been spotted near Zeta 9, deep in alien territory. That's impossible, muttered an insectoid general. Humans were not allowed warships. Quiet voice corrected him. They were not allowed. But they built them anyway. Whispers of the Ghost Fleet all across the galaxy, a name spread like a shadow. The Ghost Fleet. Alien captains said their scanners picked up strange signals. Then, their ships were gone. One survivor claimed to see black ships with red lights. No markings, no warnings, only one symbol burned into metal, a broken chain. And everywhere they struck, a human message followed. This is only the beginning. The council splits. Some wanted to crush Earth completely. Others begged to negotiate. Some feared other slave planets would rise up too. The truth was simple. The council had no plan. For centuries, they had ruled with fear and force. But now, fear had turned back on them. The humans had done the unthinkable. They had made the galaxy afraid. Inside the Earth Division, the council had a special group, the Earth Division. Their job was to monitor the human population. Now their files were useless. Their spy satellites were offline. Their informants had vanished. Even their communication lines to Earth were filled with strange messages. We remember your chains. We were your workers. Now we are your judges. The director of Earth Division, an old alien named Servak, stood frozen. They're using our own technology against us, he whispered. They learned everything, while we thought they were sleeping. Rael's new message, in a secret broadcast. Commander Rael Voss spoke to the galaxy. Her face was calm, her voice sharp. You made Earth a slave world, she said. You took our children. You killed our hope. You thought we would stay broken forever. She leaned closer to the camera. You were wrong. The message played on millions of alien screens, even in council chambers. Every species saw it. Every ruler heard it. Alien citizens. React, not all aliens supported the council. Some had always questioned Earth's treatment. Others were afraid they would be next. Riots broke out on several planets. Protesters shouted, "Let Earth go free!" In one city, an alien monument to the council was torn down by its own people. Fear had started a fire, and Earth had lit the match. For 200 years, Earth had no warships. The Galactic Council made sure of that. They destroyed every human fleet after the takeover. They banned weapons in Earth's orbit. They watched Earth from above, always watching, but they didn't watch close. Enough. Because deep in the darkness, something terrible was growing, where no one looked, in the asteroid belts beyond Mars, in the rings of Saturn, in the frozen caves of Neptune's moons. Humans built again. They used scrap, stolen tech, and forgotten designs. Old mining ships became mobile bases. Cargo haulers were turned into weapon platforms. But one secret. Project was different. It was called Project Wraith, and from it, the Ghost Fleet was born. Black ships, no names. The Ghost Fleet had no colors, no flags, no lights, only black hulls and red sensors, cold, silent, deadly. Each ship was designed to vanish in space, no energy trails, no signals. Only one thing gave them away: the broken chain symbol carved into every hull. Who manned them? They weren't regular soldiers. The crews of the Ghost Fleet were survivors, men who escaped alien labor camps, women who saw their children taken, engineers who had hidden their skills for decades. Now they wore no uniforms. They followed no alien laws. They followed only one rule: never forgive, never forget. First Fleet, first Kill the Council, sent patrols to search the outer system. One patrol found something strange, an old mining beacon active again after 100 years. They went to investigate. They never returned. The Council sent a second patrol. That one sent back just 3 words: "They are ready." Then silence. Kalen's first command. Kalen, now older and stronger, stood aboard the Ghost Fleet ship Vengeance 12. He had trained in space combat, learned alien systems, and mastered stealth tech. He wasn't just a rebel anymore. He was a commander. Beside him, older fighters watched quietly. No one smiled. No one spoke of mercy. Their mission: cut off the Council's supply lines, leave nothing standing. The Ghost Fleet attacks. In just 7 days, the Ghost Fleet struck 12 key targets. A weapons lab on Zeta 3 gone. A shipyard orbiting Kroll burned to atoms. A prison station holding human slaves emptied. The Ghost Fleet left no bodies, just empty silence, and the symbol of the broken chain painted on walls. Alien captains began refusing orders. Some ran when human ships appeared. Others surrendered before a single shot was fired. The Council loses control. Inside the Council Hall, fear was growing. "We can't track them," one general said. "They're everywhere and nowhere." "They're not just ships." Another whispered. "They're shadows." High Chancellor Kovas slammed his fist down. "We will crush this fleet," he said, "even if we must burn Earth itself." But deep down, he knew. Earth was no longer weak. Echo Point expands. While the Ghost Fleet hunted the stars, Echo Point, the hidden rebel base, grew larger. New ships were built every week. More recruits joined from secret human colonies. Alien slaves, hearing of Earth's rebellion, escaped and begged to fight beside them. The resistance was no longer just human. Now, it was something more, a force that wanted to break the old order. Rael's next move, Commander Rael, looked at the map of the Council's inner territory. "There's one place they never think we'll strike," she said. Kalen stepped forward. "Where?" She pointed at a blinking red dot, Zorath Prime, the capital of the galaxy's oldest and cruelest slave empire. Everyone in the room froze. Rael's voice was calm. "We go there next." Zorath Prime, the capital of the oldest slave empire, burned in the darkness. The Ghost Fleet had struck fast, hard, and without mercy. Billions across the galaxy watched the footage of their greatest city falling. Statues of old rulers were pulled down. Ships exploded in the sky. It was the biggest blow to the Galactic Council yet. Shockwaves across the stars, every planet under Council control felt the quake. Some cheered in secret. Others trembled in fear, and in many worlds, whispers grew. If Earth can fight back, maybe we can too. The council splits. Again, panic spread like fire. Some council members called for total war. Burn Earth to ashes. Others worried. What if the humans are not alone? Asked one ambassador. What if other slave worlds join them? In every meeting, old alliances cracked. Species that had stood together for centuries now accused each other of weakness. Aliens who wanted peace, not every species in the council, was cruel. Some had never supported Earth's slavery. They were forced to obey stronger empires or stay silent. Now, with the Ghost Fleet destroying fleets and cities, these species had a choice. Stay loyal to the Council, or risk everything for peace. A few leaders sent secret messages to Commander Rael. We never wanted this. We wish to talk. Echo Point receives the messages. In Echo Point, the secret human base, Rael read the offers carefully. One was from the Ilari, a peaceful aquatic species. Another came from the Kelm, traders who had once tried to help Earth but were silenced. But Rael's face stayed cold. She turned to Kalen. What do you think? She asked. He clenched his jaw. Did they fight for us when we were in chains? He asked. Rael nodded. No, they watched. They did nothing. A dangerous question. In the dark halls of Echo Point, the resistance debated. Some said they should. Accept help. Any ally could make them stronger. Others warned it was a trap, a way for the Council to find and destroy them. Old fighters who had lost everything shouted, "No mercy! Every species who let Earth suffer must pay." Rael's decision commander Rael stood before them all. Her voice was like steel. We will not forget who watched us suffer, but we will not become like the Council either. She looked around the room. Those who truly want peace must prove it. She sent a message to the Ilari and Kelm. Bring us supplies, give us Council secrets, show us you mean peace. Otherwise, you are targets. The Ghost Fleet waits while the Council scrambled to plan a counterattack. The Ghost Fleet lay silent in deep space. Ships floated cold, invisible, deadly. Orders from Rael spread through encrypted channels. Watch them all, even those who say they are friends. Because the resistance knew the truth. In war, words were easy. But loyalty was rare. Allies or targets, some alien leaders sent what Rael demanded, supplies, codes, inside information. Others hesitated, and a few tried to set traps that ended with Ghost Fleet ships, leaving only burning wrecks behind. The resistance kept one rule clear: help us or fear us. The alien alliance thought they had the upper hand. Their fleets were larger. Their weapons were advanced. And Earth was still quiet. Too quiet. General Vorka of the Threx Dominion stared at the star map. Red dots showed their warships spread across human space. Every planet was surrounded. Every system watched. Still, no human response. Then something strange happened. One by one, alien ships began to vanish. No battles, no wreckage, just silence. Vorka demanded answers. What's happening out there? His second-in-command looked pale. Sir, we lost contact with 3 cruisers over Mars and 2 destroyers over Proxima. No signals, no escape pods. Just gone. Panic spread through the fleet. Some captains suggested retreat. Others accused humans of using cloaked weapons. But Vorka didn't believe it. Humans can't do this, he said. They were slaves, weak, broken. He was wrong. Suddenly, all the alien ships received a single transmission. It came from Earth. It played on every screen in every language. A simple message. We've waited. We've learned. Now it's our turn. The trap was set. Across space, hidden human ships powered up, built in secret, hidden in asteroid fields. Cloaked behind fake moons, they struck like ghosts. Alien ships exploded without warning. Communication went dark. Backup fleets were cut off. General Vorka's fleet tried to regroup, but it was too late. The humans had created a trap, not just for one fleet, but for all of them. And the galaxy had walked right into it. As explosions lit the stars, one question spread through the alien high command. How did the slaves become the hunters? But by the time they asked, it was already too late. The stars were on fire. Alien fleets across the galaxy were under attack, not from above, not from some empire, but from Earth, the planet they had once chained. Human warships came from every direction, silent, fast, ruthless. No warnings. No mercy. Only revenge. On the bridge of the Zarn dreadnought Vortalon, Supreme Admiral Eshkarn watched in horror as entire sectors turned red on his battle map. "They're everywhere," a technician shouted. "Earth forces are. Striking all at once. No pattern. How can that be?" Eshkarn growled. "They have no empire, no allies." "They don't need allies," whispered his first officer. "They are different now." The truth was clear. Humanity hadn't just escaped. They had planned. They had built. They had waited. And now, humanity was hunting. Back on Earth, General Reyes stood before a giant hollow map. Every red mark showed a successful attack. Every blinking light, a captured enemy ship. He spoke calmly. "Don't stop. Push forward. They enslaved us together. We'll bring judgment together." Across the galaxy, alien commanders sent desperate messages. They begged for peace, for mercy. But the human response was always the same. You had your chance. On the neutral world of Cerelia, the Council of Nine gathered in panic. These were the leaders who had once sold Earth into slavery. Now they watched as their homeworlds burned one by one. "The humans are tearing through our lines," one shouted. "They're not the same species anymore," another cried. "We turned them into monsters." Silence followed those words, because, deep down, they all knew. They had made this happen. The reckoning had begun, and there was no one left to stop it. The galaxy was falling quiet, not peaceful, just silent. Burned-out ships drifted through space. Destroyed stations floated like tombstones. Humanity had become a ghost story, whispered across dying stars. No one knew where the humans would strike next. No one knew how they were everywhere at once. They only knew one thing. If you betrayed Earth, they were coming. On the ruined world of Volthar, Vroxcon the Unbroken had once been a warlord feared across 10 sectors. Now, he was hiding in a cave system deep underground, afraid of the sky. His eyes stared at the hollow screen, showing a single human warship slowly circling above. He whispered, "How did they find me?" In the shadows of a forgotten gas giant, an old alien listening post picked up a strange signal. No words, just a message repeated in Earth's ancient language. "Run all you want. The stars belong to us now." Back on the command ship Vindicator, General Reyes watched as fleets reported in from dozens of fronts. Victory, after victory, after victory. But his expression wasn't proud. It was cold. They thought enslaving Earth would make us weak, but it made us one mind, one mission. Inside the war room, Commander Lee spoke up. "Sir, latest scans showed that the last Council world, Jundari Prime, is preparing a full planetary shield. They're trying to hide." Reyes narrowed his eyes. "Let them try. No shield can stop what's coming." He looked across the map. "We're not just ending a war. We're erasing an age." In orbit above another Council planet, a group of alien nobles tried to flee in luxury ships, but human strike drones ripped through them like paper. Survivors didn't send distress calls anymore. They knew no help was coming. Not from the Council, not from allies. Humanity had become the storm, and there was no star system left to hide. The last Council world stood alone, Jundari Prime, a fortress planet, surrounded by defense rings, shield, walls, and the final fleets of the old galactic order. The alien leaders sat deep underground, trembling in silence. Every screen showed the same thing. The human fleet had arrived. The skies above Jundari turned black. Not from night, but from thousands of warships, from small stealth frigates to massive dreadnoughts glowing red with fury. A broadcast lit up every channel. One human voice, calm, steady. It was General Reyes. "This is not a negotiation. This is not a warning. This is your sentence." Inside the enemy command bunker, High Chancellor Rathil gasped. "We gave Earth peace, technology, trade." But Commander Lee's voice came over the comms, cold and clear. "You gave Earth chains. You gave Earth pain. Now Earth returns the favor." Jundari's defense grid fired first. Beams of blue light streaked into the void. But they vanished, mid-flight. Human counter-tech had already shut down half their systems before the first shot. Then came the silence, and then the fall. The USS Vindicator led the charge. Human ships cut through defenses like razors through silk. Enemy cruisers exploded without warning. Ground stations turned to ash. The final message from the Council was only 3 words, broadcast on an open channel. We were wrong. But it was too late. Within minutes, the surface of Jundari cracked. Human orbital cannons didn't just destroy, they erased. Whole cities vanished in white fire. The Council was no more. On the bridge of the Vindicator, Reyes stood in silence. Behind him, Earth's flag waved gently, stitched into the wall. Commander Lee spoke quietly. "It's done. The chains are broken." Reyes nodded. "No. Now we decide what the galaxy becomes." Humanity didn't just survive slavery. It conquered it. It remembered every name, every world, every betrayal, and now it had rewritten the stars. The age of the old Council was over. The era of Earth had begun.